Episode 6 of The Family Business was mildly gripping from start to finish. Junior is off to a questionable start where he doesn't want to take the advice of his new table members, and Roman is beginning to suffer some consequences for his not so well thought out decisions. In this video, I'll deliver scene by scene breakdowns and tell you exactly how it all unfolded. The episode opened with Donna hearing voices and having flashbacks of Dominique's voice asking her if she was ready to get her bones, and Junior is here forbidding his mother, his Aunt Donna, to kill Ruby as I suspected. He said that she's innocent in all of this, and this was all part of my synopsis breakdown for episode number 8, and I kind of figured that Junior would eventually say something sooner or later. He stressed to her that Ruby was the mother of his little nephew, and Donna just brushed him off, saying things like, oh, they're just testing me, and if I'm gonna be by your side, then I gotta do it. And he's trying to help her to come to her senses by reminding her that she's not a killer. And her comparing herself to Chippy train is never late. She said, if Chippy can do it, I can do it too. Then she closed the conversation with, had I been a little more hood, a little bit gangster, a little ride or die, then LC probably would have married me instead. And that's unfortunate because Donna still don't get it. And I guess Donna stressed Junior out because the next scene, we see Junior lifting weights, burning calories, and the stress of his mama's potential actions. He muttered to himself, you can't kill Ruby. You can't kill Ruby. And I think we all saw how uncomfortable Junior was when he took the initial meeting with them. The whole thing is making him feel a bit unsettled. So he's expressing this all to Donna, but we're going to see if he keeps the same energy a little bit later. London told Elsie and Chippy that she's removing privileges and even removing the door off the hinges in Mariah's room. Do y'all think that London is being a bit too strict on Mariah? Remove the door? That's a bit much, don't you think? Elsie agreed that Mariah's situation is very serious, and he recommended that she see a therapist, but London thinks that she's going to do just fine. She'll do just fine, just like Paris and I did fine, Junior, Vegas, and Orlando. They all got punished, and they turned out just fine. Chippy chimed in and mentioned the divorce and the fact that her father is MIA, which may be the cause of her running away and her misconduct issues. Then London said that the divorce and her father going missing is not her fault. She reminded them that they were the ones who gave the Dashes the weapon that killed Sal Dash. So now we have a little bit more insight on this because at the end of season 4, we saw Junior give Antonio the gun, right? While they were sitting at that table on their lunch date. So Antonio may have just taken him out. Chipper reminded her that Harris was a liability who put everyone in their family in danger. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about Harris any longer. What do you guys think? So with that, she did agree for Mariah to attend a few sessions with a therapist that he would recommend. Next, we catch up with Ruby, little Vincent, and Orlando. Ruby doesn't know where they're going, and she's worried because of the abrupt manner in which they left. Orlando just wants them to be safe, so the head doesn't have to worry about them. Then she mentions going back to Jamaica, but Antonio used to run that island, so going back to Jamaica won't work. They profess their love for each other, and C-Note kept the car moving. Then we move on to Bobby the Beast playing $10,000 pool games. Roman came in looking for Darnell, and he told him that he was out there by the pool. In the following scene, it's some B-roll footage that established where Orlando was taking Ruby, and we'll get into the details on that in a few minutes. And in the meantime, we see Brandon and Roman walking up to the pool to ask Darnell for some more work, but Darnell told them, look, it's too soon, bro. You need to chill out because we don't want to bring any heat to the situation that happened a couple of days ago. But Roman is desperate, and I'm sure that this is what's clouding his thinking. And Darnell is in there with the girlies having a good old time. Brandon can't wait to get in the pool. He can't wait to get an invite to the pool so he can indulge, right? And Roman can't help but be serious and straight to the point because his mom is dying, so he ain't got no time for the chit chatter. So since Roman is there with a sense of urgency, Darnell put him on to another gig, but he told him that he wanted 10% of that job. We now see Orlando dropping off Ruby with little O Jr. They're at a family member's house to hide out and to lay low. This is Marquise, guys, or Marcus. Remember I mentioned that that someone from the New Orleans side would join the cast of the family business really soon? Well, here you go. So Marquise is playing bodyguard for this one. He's been enlisted by Orlando to protect Ruby and little Vincent, to keep them out of harm's way. Darnell busted in on Roman and his side piece for the afternoon and gave him the details and a pep talk on the next play with Giovanni, who's the leader of the operation of the guy that Roman took out 2 days ago, his first job with Darnell. Then we'll move on to Junior sitting outside when Brother Minister came up, and he told Junior that he was proud of him pretty much, and that LC will be proud of him too, kinda. Junior thanked him, and then he let him know that his new position is creating opportunities for everyone. Brother Minister came to warn Junior not to make any mistakes because he told him that he put a lot of money in that collection plate when it came around, so you better tighten up. He's concerned because of the brainless move that they're making with Donna and Ruby. He told him that he was very uncomfortable having Donna take the life of a black woman. And he's very surprised that Junior wants to take out someone in his own family. Then Junior countered with, well, what about you and your men killing people? And he was like, well, that's different. It's for something. What they're doing to Ruby is senseless. Junior said it's good for business and not to worry about it. And then when Junior walked off, Brother Minister looked at him with pure disgust. Now we see Dominique, Antonio, and Alejandro sitting outside. And here we have Alejandro also expressing his concern about Donna just killing innocent people. He said that Junior and Donna are just sacrificial lambs, but they're naive and don't really realize it. And Antonio said, oh well. Dominique said that her and Donna are going to be taking off for the islands tomorrow to take care of Ruby. And while she's making this announcement, Antonio got word that Orlando and Ruby have just disappeared. We cut back to Orlando and Ruby walking in Marquise's man-made garden. We're going to call him Marquise. I'll just keep Marquise until we find out otherwise. Until I hear him say his name, then he'll just be Marquise, okay? But anyway, he grows his own food, and Ruby told Orlando that he needs to keep little Vincent with him when he goes back to New York because the Italians are less likely to see her alone. That little O would be safer if he's with him. Then what's even more important, New York is where little O's doctor is, right? So if he needs to be seen or take any treatments, then he's already there. And Orlando agreed. Roman received a text message from Lala from Dragonfly, and she gave him the apartment number and told him where he could find the money. And Brandon is scared. He's really scared, and he don't want to do it. Roman told him that he understood, and if he wanted to back out, then it was cool. But he had to get the money so that his mom could get the transplant. See, there are so many things going on in this scene, so many warning signs and context clues. First of all, when you hear that little inner voice nudging at you to not do something, then don't do it. And I understand Brandon wanted to have his back. He wanted to be down for the cause, yada, yada. But if you got to give up your life to prove that you got somebody's back, oh gosh, I just told. Anyway, I'm getting too far ahead here, but anyway, the next thing I wanted to point out is the fact that this character, Roman, is out here in these streets cutting the fool right over this woman who has lied to him, stole him, and still deceiving him by keeping him in the dark about who he really is. He's making all these moves without being fully aware of having all the information to make wiser decisions, right? And it's kind of perfect, but I'm just so eager to yell at the screen again and just unload, tell him everything, But they put the masks on and then they went in. They got in there, Lord have mercy. Brandon was all over the place. He was talking way too much. You could tell he's not really used to doing this. And he even allowed Vonnie to pull the mask off of his head. So Brandon's looking for the money while Brandon's running his mouth. And when he found it, he gave the girl some advice after he hit her, because that's what she told him to do, to make it look a little bit more believable. And they think that Vonnie has gone to glory, but not, right? Sloppy, amateur job, period. And when they left out, Brandon shot him again, but y'all already know what didn't happen, right? Next, we see Roman in the financial office where he paid the hospital another $120,000 to secure the transplant operation. So he's now waiting to talk to Dr. Ford about the procedure. Now we see London and LoJack having a discussion about Mariah, and LoJack gave her some really good advice on how to handle the situation. Then she started getting a little controlling by asking him where he was last night, why you couldn't pick up the phone or something like that. And then he told her that he was on the phone with his assistant all night because they couldn't find his nephew Brandon. See, if Brandon would have just stayed home like his mama told him to, then he wouldn't be where he at. Then we see old secret keeping Coretta pacing the hospital floor. She told Margaret to tell Roman what was going on. Margaret said that it's not the right time and that she was going to take it to her grave. See, here we have another woman who want to take stuff to her grave, right? These life-changing secrets. But Coretta threatened to tell Roman anyway, but Margaret said that she'll wait until they get home. Roman and the doctor came in, and Roman said the hospital approved the surgery and that he was going to give her his kidney. I kid you not. Mariah is all done with her first therapy appointment, and she came out with her nails done. She said the therapist was nice and that she asked a lot of questions. She told London that she did not give away any of the family secrets, but London told her that it was okay and it was a safe space to talk because she's also her granddaddy's therapist. So now we have Roman walking up to meet with Brandon, and Roman told him that he was going to be the donor for his mom. But Brandon said, before you get on that operating table, we're going to go and have some tacos, some tequilas, and some tig-old bitties, okay? So Chippy is cleaning up when she moves Sonia's jacket from the chair, and then the baby fell out. Well, the picture of the baby fell out of Sonia's jacket. She was crying, happy tears. And when she went into the other room to share the news with Nene and stress her concern that Donna won't ever let her see Junior's baby, which is going to be, of course, her grandchild. Brandon and the side piece are in the bed. For some strange reason, they went to get more liquor. They wanted to go and get more liquor. Like, they've already emptied this bottle. So why are they deciding to go out so early in the wee hours of the morning? I mean, it's so unsafe, right? Then we have Roman, who's totally stressed out, and he can't even get into light skin laying over here on the bed. He decides to take a drink and try to relax and loosen up a little bit. And we could tell from the dramatic music and the camera angles and just the storyline in general, we could tell that Brandon was about to meet his demise. And at the end of the stairwell was the same guy, Vonnie, from the apartment a few nights ago. He shot Brandon and down he went. Roman heard the gunshots and he ran out. And I really don't think that he survived this, guys. I mean, it looked really, really bad. And one thing that they did get right in this scene was the fake theater blood. And this blood has a lot more viscosity and it looks closer to the real thing, more real than Catfish Boy and the boy that was in the hallway. So shout out to the makeup artist or the special effects department. Good job on this one. So that wraps up this episode 6 of Family Business, Crossing Boundaries. I enjoyed the episode, although it was two things going on at once. It was kind of light and heavy all at the same time, but I was still able to connect to the last episode and I was able to follow along without any issues. We do know that Junior is thinking sensibly for the first time in a while. We also found out where Vegas is, vaguely. I mean, not so directly, but we just have to put 2 and 2 together until they show us otherwise. And we finally see the connection now between the Family Business and the spinoff show. So I'm super geeked about it. So this is a great episode for me. The makeup was much better with the blood scenes, costumes and hair always on point, locations, chef's kiss as always, and the lighting and the music, it really sets the tone in all the scenes and it carries us from plot to plot in the way that it should. So I was pleased and definitely looking forward to next week's episode. What about you? Drop me your thoughts and your comments below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of Carl Weber's The Family Business, then go ahead and sub to the channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys, on Ruthless TV, where I'm bringing you more than just a recap. And I'm going to see you on the next one.